Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to my first episode in a tutorial slash kind of guide for Arknights, a new game that came out of tower defense. I'm absolutely loving it, and I've been trying to figure out what sort of guide content to put out on this game. And I thought about putting specific stages for guides, but there's so many of them out there because the game has essentially been kind of solved already in that sense of the word. So I decided to do a step-by-step process of how I progress through the game. And what units I build as the baseline, with a bunch of recommendations for others as well. And specifically, when I decided to break into farming stages like the tactical drill and cargo escort. So that's what we're going to focus on here, and we're going to end kind of this session with Annihilation run for the first 400 kills, and we'll go on from there after, depending on what's next, you know. So to start things off with, this is going to be a completely free-to-play-ish style account. These are the units we're essentially going to use. We're going to be using Hero and Beagle as our defenders. You can use pretty much anybody else for these sorts of situations. If you're looking for a unit, these are all the free ones, but if you have a similar type unit that you want to use instead, they will almost assuredly work. So keep that in mind as you're going forward. If you look at any of the tier lists floating around, I can probably link one in the description below. If one of these characters is in the same category as somebody else in terms of like an AoE archer or an AoE mage or something like that, you can use any other AoE mage to do this sort of strategy. For medics, we're going to use Hibiscus, Ansel, and Lancet. Again, you can use whoever you want. You can use Shining or something instead. For our single target magic user, we're just going to use Amia. I really recommend using her. She's insane. Really like her. As for our AoE magic, free-to-play options are Lava and Z12 or something 12, whatever his name is. But somebody else like Skyfire is bonkers. You can use her instead. As for our snipers, we're using Cruz, who is just one of the best units in the game, probably one of the best 3 stars, and also Jessica as our 2 snipers here. And these are single target snipers as well. You don't really get any multi-target snipers to use, and you might be able to fit them in if you have the Shuriken user. I forget her name, Shirayuki or something like that, or if you have Meteorite as a 5-star AoE sniper, but we're just going to stick to single targets. As for Vanguards, we're going to use Fang, Plume, and probably Courier. All 3 of those are free, and there are 2 main types of Vanguard units as you go through, and you need one of each. I would say at least one of them, like Fang, regens DP over time, and one of them, like Plume or like Vigna, or I think like Siege as well, regens every time they do damage or kill, depending on which unit it is. So Plume is my damage on kill, Fang is my DP regeneration over time. But then I'm going to use Melantha as a guard. She is one of my favorite units. She's actually is my favorite unit in the game, and she's free and 3-star, and I'm going to use her as an assassin, so you can just kind of drop her in when you really need to snipe people off. And then we're going to use Shaw as Shaw, and Shaw is basically just going to push people off cliffs, and it's going to be glorious. So those are the main set of units you can use. Again, you can use any other guard for the most part. You can use Iron Eater or FE Eater instead of Shaw if you really want to, and you're really not in any trouble or any sort of loss investing in any of these units. So that's kind of what I want to prove here. And I got so many questions on what order to progress, what order to start leveling up my units, that I decided to go this route instead of another style of tutorial. So we're going to go through that. There's a ton of game type information I have that is in other videos that's not going to be in this one. So this guide is going to essentially start right around episode 2.1-6. This is where you pick up crew, or 2-8 I mean. I was able to do up to 1-6. I can probably go further. I haven't tried yet with all level 1 characters, so I haven't leveled anybody up at this point yet. So we're just going to start off getting some people leveled up, and we're going to go into supplies to tactic drills, and we're going to start doing these. So we'll see what it takes to get those fully cleared. We're just going to start off leveling up a couple units here. I'm going to level up some of my favorites. It doesn't really matter because you're going to do these all the time anyway, and getting them to like the first stage as 3 stars really doesn't take too many resources. Be careful if you're using 5-star or 6-star units. They take infinite more to use, so honestly I think 3 stars and 4 stars are better early game to kind of get you started. So that's something to really keep in mind as you're going forward. We're just gonna level up Cruise a little bit. Let's just bring people to 30 for now and see where that takes us. So we're gonna bring Cruise to 30. We're going to bring a couple of our Vanguards to 30. So specifically, Fang is fantastic, and she comes with the skin, which is always great. So we'll bring her up to 30 as well. And yeah, let's leave her at 30. We'll go all the way with these. I just want to get a little bit here and there for all my characters. We're also going to do Hibiscus up to 20 for now, because I want to get my DPS up a little higher first. And then we're going to do our AoE magic dealer, which is going to be Lava. And again, like I said, you can use any replacements for these. They're all going to work. Some will be a lot better, so keep that in mind. Like Skyfire versus Lava. I don't have Skyfire on my main account, but I've heard she's just bonkers, so somebody like that would super help out. We're also going to level up Beagle because she needs a little bit of tankiness as well here. I don't have Kiora yet. I haven't unlocked her, so we're just going to start with Beagle here. Okay, and also, what more can we do? We've got our Cruise. Let's get our Jessica up a little bit as well, just because that extra range damage is going to be awesome. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have that going, we should be able to get through... Wow, we got a lot of missions done, Jesus. We should be able to get through the first couple places pretty easily. So let's just go to LS-1 here first. Make sure we have everybody going. I'm missing one spot. That's for Kiora or Shaw at this point. So this should be relatively easy. We are going to drop our Fang first, and again, Fang is our DP regen one, so every time her green bar fills, we get to get some DP going. I think I should put my face over here, right? Because that way you're not covered by too much. Let's also start getting some damage in here, so we are going to get our Cruise there. We can also put one of these up a little bit further and try to have her get the kills. Every time she gets a kill, she gets 1 cost, which really adds up. And we're just going to save up for an AoE at this point, which is going to be our Lava, and we're just going to drop her down. The good part with Plume as well is you can refund the entire original DP cost when you retreat with her. So every cost I'm gaining is like a bonus, and then I can reuse her for something else later. It is fantastic. So we're at the point, I'm just going to get rid of her now, throw Beagle in there, get some more damage. This is a pretty easy stage, so we should be able to just super clear through it all. Just set up like this and you will be set. God, look at how awesome Cruise is. She's one of my favorite units. Just so awesome. Look how happy she is. Doesn't even open her eyes when she's sniping. Perfect. So that is the first one. You should only ever have to do this one once. I think we should be able to just go straight into LS2 right now. And this is where you're going to be farming a lot. You're going to spend a lot of your time in LS2, LS3, LS4, LS5, and the cargo version as well, which unfortunately is locked on Mondays. So we're going to go into LS2 now. I think this one should be super doable with just a really measly setup here. Also, just as a note, our general progression guide I think people should do for the start of this game is to go as far as you can into the story. Like I said, I made it up to TR-8 with the units I needed to use. And from that point on, head into either Annihilation to get a little bit of bonuses, but I don't recommend it right off the bat unless your week is ending. But if your week isn't ending right away, I would go straight into Tactics Drill, as this video does. Make your way up to LS1, LS2, LS3. Farm your LS3 alongside your cargo CS1, CS2, CS3 as well. And then as you farm those for a day or something like that, you can move into CS4 and LS4. And from that point, you can clear more story as well. So that's like my general progression guide and what I have planned for this. And as you're moving from like LS3 to LS4 and CE3 and CE4, you can also move into Annihilation right after. So I know these abbreviations don't mean much, but LS-3, LS-4, you can figure it out. So enjoy the rest of this video. For LS2, we're going to start off with our Fang just to get some DP regen, and we are going to drop a Ranger, or whatever they're called, a Sniper right there, because these guys get past otherwise. Now that we've got a kill in, we can get enough for her. Fortunately, Cruz is too good. She steals the kills. Ah, we got some. Nice, nice, nice. We're just trying to get as much cost as we can while these come. It looks like this is going to start to overwhelm her. Going to put a tank right there. We'll also want to start some heals here as well. I forget who else we leveled up. We leveled up Lava, right? Yeah, we leveled up Lava. So let's get Lava down next. Make sure we get enough damage here. And just get enough AoE and enough everything here. I'm going to save for Melantha just in case we need somebody else to block this part. Okay, first stage, really, really easy. Second stage, really, really easy. Again, this is right when they're unlocked. And you can always use abilities, which I never remember to do. And I guess we can bring her out too. I don't think we're going to be able to do LS-3 right off the bat, and I can't show you cargo ship yet. So we're going to try LS-3, kind of see where our problems are, and then decide who we're going to farm XP for after that. That's kind of going to be our plan of assault here. LS-3 is going to be the next place we're going to be farming for a bit. We will stay here for, I would say, quite a while. I find it's really good. It's a lot easier than LS4, and the efficiency is not too bad comparatively as well. So this is the team I was able to do it with. I don't use all of these units. It's not very hard to get people higher level than this. This is just like bare minimum. If you're struggling whatsoever, if you're a little slow placing people down or it just isn't working, just level people up a little bit and it'll get much easier, and the same setup will work just fine. And also, if you're using better units than I am, like if you're using maybe a better AoE mage or something like that, it will be a lot easier as well. We want to make sure we aim Plume down. She is the one that gets CP whenever we get a kill. If you're a god gamer, you can make it so she gets every kill here, but I'm not a god gamer, so she's gonna miss every one. Ah, she got one. Nice. We're also going to get a Beagle out front. Next up, we're gonna drop a Lava just to get a bunch of AoE going. And this is probably our weakest part of our team. Like, if you have Skyfire, she does a ton of damage, apparently. It's insane, the damage difference. And we're going to go like this. And the next one up is going to be our healer. So we need to one-time speed it. We don't have to, but just to be safe. The damage gets really scary here. We want to proc our abilities as well. Right as we get to 15, we want to get a heal in there for our tank. And we are going to go for another heal right after, just to make sure they're both on these two tanks. We're not going to use our Beagle skill. We do need that one. And at this point, we can just speed it up. Next drop is going to be an Amiya. So we're just going to put Amiya right about here. And this is basically it. It does get stressful at the end, and we might have to make some quick placements depending on our skill usage and stuff, but pretty easy, and we just need to make sure we survive these stupid loggers because they're kind of nutso. So I'm actually going to proc Lava's ability here just so we go into this great, and we want to make sure Beagle gets a big defense bonus as he's swinging. It really does make a difference when you're lower level. We need Beagle to survive because she is gonna get rallied. Ooh! She's gonna get absolutely rallied. So at this point, we need to really, really hope we survive. There's a good chance somebody dies, and then when that happens, we need to drop another person really quickly. When that happens, we need to drop another person really quickly. And there you go. That's the first clear for LS-3, and you'll be able to spam this. And like I said, this is worth spamming. LS-4 is a lot harder, and we'll get into that tomorrow, I think. But for now, I would stick spamming LS-3. I would love to also show you Cargo Escort as well, but it's not something we can actively do because it's locked. But instead, if you want to start off on Annihilation, it's not a bad use of initial stamina just to kind of get the base bonuses. Annihilation is huge for bonuses. The first time you clear it, like all of the stuff you get here, and then you can get Arundum weekly. This is kind of our goal for this mini session, is just to make sure we get all of these going no problem. So if you want, you can run a little bit in Annihilation to get things going. And I'll just show you a really quick setup for this. These runs take like 15 minutes or something like that if you do them right. Also Annihilation. Well, so I start off throwing Fang right here, and this seems to be like the general way people are doing this online, which is one of the reasons why we're using these sets of units, because they just help out so much. So just starting off like this is enough to get you quite a bit of rewards. Also, if you're a little further than me, I can't show this yet because we're not there yet on this account. We don't have Shaw yet, but if you're a little further than me, you can throw Shaw in this position right here, aiming up at level 1, and if you have Shaw at level 4 for her skills, she knocks everybody down there, and it's awesome. And then you can also throw a Beagle right here to tank, and then those two will carry you for a lot of the stage. You can also throw in a healer on that side and a healer on this side as well, and you're gonna make it through quite far with Annihilation. Our next video will probably have the full run in there, but there's a lot out there if you want to just YouTube Annihilation 400 if you're already ahead of the guide. So yeah, that's gonna be it for now. I hope you enjoyed this setup. Let me know if there's any specifics if you have questions on. It's really, I was undecided on how to do a guide for this game, but I always like having guides up because they're fun, and I like being able to help people that way. So if this is something that helps you out, if you are struggling to get into LS3, LS4, something like that, and you are helped by this, please let me know in the comments below, because I would be really happy. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.